white for cars painted in dark colors, and black for cars painted of light shades. 1967 Chevrolet Impala SS.
This is attractive.
Yeah.
The Chevrolet.
Hey guys, Loud Guys. Today we are going to watch 10 best muscle cars of all time. So muscle cars are mainly the old vintage cars.
Wow. Basically, I felt that vintage cars are like pretty long. What do you think?
They are long ones, yes. But yes, they are the ones that we could have seen in 80s or 90s.
And they also don't have that roof thing.
No, some have.
Some have, but I've mostly seen without roof.
In India, you don't see that many muscle cars because in India there is so much regulation, rules and regulation, and only the rich or the richest only are able to keep that much of cars and that much of maintenance. So we will see what happens and like what are the 10 best muscle cars of all time in this video. So let's start the
Video.
Shelby GT500 from the 1965 GT350 models. 1970 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. Chevrolet Camaro, the iconic American passenger car, manufactured by the Chevrolet division of General Motors Corporation. Cars of the second generation were produced from February 1970 to August 1981.
I want to ask you one thing, like if a guy comes out from that car, like what is the impression in your mind?
I think I would rather focus on a guy.
But still, he comes out from that car, so you're like, oh, this is something interesting.
And if he is good looking and he is carrying a nice personality with this car, then I'm totally impressed.
Model could be supplemented with the special design package Rally Sport RS or equipped with more powerful engines performed by the Super Sport SS. In parallel with the release of these modifications, a high-speed package was also released under the code Z28. No one advertised it or offered it, and it was not broadcast to the general public. But the Chevrolet Camaro Z28 model became the most famous for the entire existence of the brand. Package options for the Z28 included a special 5.7-liter engine with 360 horsepower,
5.7-liter
spoilers
engine.
front and rear, and coloring in the form of racing stripes on the hood and trunk lid. White for cars painted in dark colors, and black for cars painted of light shades. 1967 Chevrolet Impala SS.
This is attractive.
Yeah.
The Chevrolet Impala is another iconic
This is
American
gangster one.
full-size car, manufactured by the Chevrolet division of General Motors Corporation. The sports modification Impala SS Super Sport was produced from 1965 to 1967 and won a crowd of fans. The body of the 1965 model was great by American standards and remained in service for a long time. But in 1967, it was restyled. The car received a more thorough sculptural study. The sidewall of the body was a bit smoothed. Their lights were recessed into the grille and large turn signals on the sides. The car began to look more harmonious and aggressive. The engine of the Impala 67 is also worth a look. It was a V8 with a capacity of 425 horsepower and a volume of 6.7 liters, which literally tore the asphalt from under the wheels. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle LS6. When the company GM squeezed their previous requirements, prohibiting the installation of an engine of more than 400 cubic inches on medium-sized cars, in the American automobile industry there was a real boom of muscle cars. According to most conservative estimates, the power of the LS6 was 450 horsepower, but according to some experts, due to the high compression ratio and the huge Holley 78 CFM carburetor, the actual power of the LS6 was close to 500 horsepower. Employees of the magazine Car and Driver tested the car in 1970 and claimed it went from 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds.
Wow.
How much faster do you think this car would be today with modern tires?
We don't know, man.
1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda.
Yeah.
Plymouth Hemi Cuda was not a full-fledged model,
this is
but
Bumblebee.
a sports version of the third-generation Plymouth Barracuda with a huge Hemi engine. As befits a true legend among racing cars, not many cars could compete with the 1970 Hemi Cuda. It was distinguished by its classic balanced appearance and engine, the frame of which was no less than the car itself. The heart was the legendary 426 6.9-liter block Hemi. Fully cast iron, it possessed 2 valves per cylinder in hemispherical combustion chambers.
They have taken.
The valves were driven by a single camshaft, and the twin exhaust system helped to fill the full power of the engine. The car accelerated to 60 miles per hour in a record 5.6 seconds, and the maximum speed reached was 117 miles per hour. 1969 Pontiac GTO Judge. In the early 1960s, Pontiac was the leader in the manufacture of muscle cars.
I like this
Often,
side.
the GTO is
lights.
called the first muscle car, but by 1968, the car had too many competitors. Then there was the idea to create a cheaper version of the GTO with a smaller engine of 350 cubic inches. Chief Engineer John DeLorme did not approve of this venture. In his opinion, the GTO could not have such a small engine. As a result, the new model was different from the traditional GTO. The Judge was equipped with a 360 horsepower Ram Air 3 engine, but buyers could also choose the Ram Air 4 at 370 horsepower. The rarest was the Pontiac GTO Judge Ram Air 4 convertible. They released only 17 models in 1969.
Awesome.
1978 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am.
The eyes or the
The
nose.
1970s for the muscle cars became a pale semblance of previous decades. Rising prices for fuel and insurance have forced manufacturers to restrain their passion regarding super powerful cars. This affected almost all car brands,
It
but
looks
not
like a big
Pontiac.
nose.
Yeah.
Their Trans Am has become a public favorite since the release of the 1977 film Smokey and the Bandit. The 455 engine with a volume of 7.5 liters and a power of more than 370 horsepower, which is deservedly considered the last of the number of legendary engines for the generation of muscle cars, was installed in the Trans Am version. And the WS6 Special Package added wider 8-inch wheels, new tires, and very sharp steering to the car. As a result, the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am has become much more agile and faster on the track than the Chevy Corvette. 1969 Dodge Charger
My favorite.
RT.
Wow.
The
This
Dodge
is my
Charger is the
favorite.
iconic American car produced by
Wow.
Dodge, division of Chrysler Corporation.
So cool.
In 1969, the Dodge Charger was slightly modified from the
So
previous
cool.
68-year version. External changes included a new grille with a split in the center, and new taillights from designer Harvey Wynn. A new trim line called Special
Where are the
Edition
lights?
was
Like
also
giving
added.
Rolls-Royce feeling.
In addition to
Oh.
further enhance
Where
the
are the
image
lights?
of the muscle car, a new option package was added under the name RT,
RT.
which meant Road Trek. The RT index was placed only on cars with high power. The Dodge Charger RT came with a 440 Magnum or 426 Hemi engine. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429.
Mustang.
The golden years of NASCAR came at the end of the 70s and the beginning of the 80s. Automakers were serious about racing, and for the purpose of homologation, that is to participate in racing models, they should have produced at least 500 models, however, often producing models that were extremely dangerous for the streets. The Ford Mustang Boss 429 was a real beast. Its V8 429 cubic inches gave out 375 horsepower and 6,000 RPMs. But the engine was so massive that it did not fit into the classic engine compartment of the Mustang. Then Ford signed a contract with the company CarCraft to eliminate all interface. Specialists at CarCraft had to redo half the elements to make room and literally squeeze in the engine.
The engine is
Today
that
at auction,
big.
the model 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429
It's
is
the best
sold
for
for
the
more than
racing.
$200,000. 1970 Dodge Challenger RT. The Dodge Challenger is a cult car designed to compare with cars like the Chevrolet Camaro, Ford Mustang, and Pontiac Firebird. Coupe models were offered in 4 versions: Challenger 6, Challenger V8, Challenger TA, and Challenger RT. The Challenger RT is a more powerful model with a Chrysler 383 Magnum V8 engine with a capacity of 335 horsepower. Additionally, the RT was equipped with the Chrysler RB440 V8 Magnum 375 horsepower, Chrysler RB440 V8 6-pack 390 horsepower, and Chrysler RB426 V8 Hemi 425 horsepower engines. The Challenger RT was available in a coupe or convertible type body. The coupe and
Convertible.
SE version could be ordered with a more luxurious body, which included leather seats, a vinyl roof, as well as a smaller rear window.
Oh.
And lastly, another great muscle car, 1969
That's
Mercury Cougar
so
Eliminator.
nice.
Mercury
This car was produced from 1967 to 2002.
Where are the lights?
The year 1969 brought a few additions and adjustments to the Mercury Cougar. For the first time, the most productive package, Eliminator, appeared, which in the basic configuration came with a 4-chamber carburetor and an 8-cylinder 351 cubic engine with a capacity of 290 horsepower. It was distinguished with a black grille, special bands on the body, front and rear spoilers, and a large air intake. The body was painted only in bright colors.
All of these cars were actually awesome. So which one did you like the most?
Of course, that Dodge Charger.
Yes.
That was the name, I guess.
It was so sexy because the way it was made and the looks
and
of
Chevrolet
it.
Impala was also good because I like the long cars and the sleeky thing.
Actually, and there were those cars like Dodge Charger and even Dodge Challenger. Both the things were that they did not have headlights. So I did not know that what is the problem with that. I think so the headlights might be inside that grille and then it would just come see through at night. So it would
I
be
don't think so.
awesome to watch.
Inside the grill.
Of course it
Maybe,
can
we
be
can
because
just assume it.
because I saw in Dodge Charger that the backlights were inside the grille. So I think so the front lights might also be inside the grille. So these were the really muscle cars, and just to hear the speed of like going in 6 seconds, 100 kilometers per hour in 6 seconds, that is too much. Also, I think so America had a very good time in 1970s to 90s, like, because they were making these kind of cars. Because in India, I remember, like, we were not making such cars, we were making ambassadors or the cars that is good for the common man and not such cars. And because of that, we see all these fancy cars again and again coming out of America only. So what do you guys think? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share and
Subscribe.
bye.